Welcome everyone, I'm Paul Mintpeoper and today we're having a wee look at Evil Within. This will be a run through of the first 45 minutes or so of the game. I'm playing this on the PC with an Xbox 360 controller. For those of you that don't know, the game is developed by Tango Gameworks, which is headed by Shinji Mikami. Mikami is best known for his work on the Resident Evil series and then redefining said series with Resident Evil 4. This marks his return to the survival horror genre. I will be sporadically commentating throughout, chiming in every so often with my thoughts or dishing out trivia and tidbits about the game that I've managed to glean from the internet. So let's get into the game.
All units, 1199, expedite cover code 3, Beacon Mental Hospital.
184 copy, code 3, ETA 3 minutes.
Copy 184.
Sorry, detectives. I know you're just coming off a case, but I'm afraid we're gonna have to make a detour.
Sounds serious. Is it a riot?
A call went out just before I picked you up. Said it was multiple homicides. Half a dozen units already on scene.
131, please advise.
Hey, maybe it's the ghost of that doctor who went schizo and chopped up all those patients.
That's not what happened. Some patients disappeared. Some kind of scandal?
Still, gives you the creeps, doesn't it?
127, 124, please respond.
Joseph, you think there's a connection?
It's a possibility. I believe the records were sealed.
Anyone on scene, respond.
Dispatch, this is Detective Castellanos in 184. What's the situation? Over.
184, be advised. Some problem reaching on the Beacon Memorial.
Is there any...
God damn it! Jesus!
Junior Detective Kidman. Any thoughts?
Nothing yet. I'm sure we'll know everything once we get there.
What do you make of it?
Connolly, contact dispatch and let them know what's happening. Joseph, Kidman, you're with me. We're gonna have a look around.
Right.
The first thing that will strike you about the game is its ultra widescreen look to it with these black bars. This is to give the game a more cinematic look and feel. Also, possibly, they're here to give the player a claustrophobic feeling while playing. This isn't actually the first time that Shinji Mikami has done this, as Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube also had quite large black bars, although not quite as obtrusive as they are here in Evil Within. This was a design and artistic choice by the developer, but since I'm on the PC and can mod this, let's see what the game is hiding underneath those black bars. Ah, better. The rather gothic mental hospital here is inspired by the Winchester Mystery House, a supposedly haunted mansion in San Jose, California. It looks a tad out of place in this built up city, but if you're going to have a mental hospital going for the gothic horror look, you can't really go wrong.
Smells like blood.
All right, stay sharp. We're gonna check it out. Don't let anyone else through this door.
I can be an extra set of eyes.
We don't know what's happening here. You're a backup.
You may recognise the voice for the female officer. She's voiced by Jennifer Carpenter, who's best known as Deborah Morgan in the TV series Dexter. Also, the detective we're controlling is voiced by Anson Mount, who you may know from the Hell on Wheels TV series.
Did you hear something? Someone alive in here.
Are you injured? What happened here?
Can't be real. Impossible. Ruvik is...
I've got him. The security cameras might tell us something.
What the hell?
This first person view of being hung upside down like a piece of meat reminds me of Midnight Meat Train, a low budget horror movie starring Vinnie Jones of all people and a yet to be known Bradley Cooper. Yeah, it's pretty bad. The calm and serene sounds of the classical music clashing abruptly with the gory and horrific visuals kinda reminds me of the scene in Silence of the Lambs, which is Hannibal Lecter brutalising two guards while classical music plays in the background. Even though we can easily spot this tripwire here, we must make our way through it to continue on with the game. Really unsure why a room like this would be built into a mental asylum, but, you know, video games. We now have our what seems like our obligatory Tomb Raider reboot section, which is creeping into a lot of games nowadays. The game's kinda like a mixed bag in terms of visuals for me. Sometimes I think the character models and stuff look a bit bland and dated, and then times like this, the shadows and the way the scenery's lit just looks really, really nice.
Where's the exit? Where are they?
With this being a survival horror game, we of course have our collectible notes and clippings. Although I fully understand that in a survival horror game, having your main character weak, injured and or helpless will create some tense atmosphere, I can't help but think having a protagonist slowly hop everywhere for the opening chapter can get a tad annoying for some. I don't mind too much, but did they really have to create such long corridors and ladders to get through? A nice old school PC there. Kinda reminds me of my first PC, a sweet 486 66MHz. What modern horror game is complete without hiding in lockers? If you've played through Outlast or Alien Isolation recently, you might be a tad tired of this trope now. While we're waiting, we may as well talk about this enemy type here. He is named the Sadist. He will just chainsaw and you generally want to avoid him. I have no idea if we can eventually kill this enemy at all, but this early part of the game we're just going to be sneaking by him. I've noticed that when there's an enemy near you when you're hiding in a locker, you can hear the protagonist's heartbeat quite loud and clear, and once they get like a distance away, you don't hear the heartbeat anymore. I'm assuming this is a kind of like an indication to the player that it's all clear to actually, leave the locker. This next section, with to sneak by the sadist, there's actually multiple ways we can kinda do this. As you can see, the cutting her legs having his bleed all over the place. I'm assuming the sadist can actually follow this blood trail and eventually find us. So as I said, multiple ways of doing this, but we are going to go the more riskier and ballsier route. And no, I have no idea how he managed to avoid hitting me that whole time. Pretty fluky.
Find myself within darkness twisting me around. There is nothing I can do.
We have the game's opening credits with a theme song which sounds a bit like 9 Inch Nails' Hurt crossed with something Smashing Pumpkins would put out. Also, the visuals it's using here kind of reminds me of, and I know I've been saying this a lot, it reminds me of True Detective's opening credits. Our leg is apparently now healed as he's walking alright now.
Where's Joseph? Man, I'm sorry, but you never came out. I waited, but... Please, settle down, Leslie.
Settle down, Leslie. Settle down, Leslie. Settle down, Leslie.
Shit!
The game's now turned into a Roland Emmerich movie.
Cut off from everyone?
Everyone must be dead.
Everyone all right back there?
Just a few bumps, we're fine.
Fine.
We will be once we're far away.
Fine.
A little further and we'll be fine.
Fine.
Fall! Fall!
And now it's Inception. And with that brings us to the end of chapter 1, a rather so-so opening to the game. On to the next chapter. The opening scene to chapter 2 is very reminiscent of Jacob's Ladder, a movie which helped inspire a lot of the scares and imagery that went into most of the Silent Hill games. I'm sure it's not just a coincidence, and Mikami is paying homage to the movie here.
Hello? Anybody there?
Are we awake?
Is everyone else all right? The city?
Whatever are you talking about? You are the only soul here. Right now.
A hospital?
This place is necessary for you. You're always welcome here.
I've been hospitalized?
I'm afraid I cannot answer that.
Even though we saved right before beginning this chapter, the game kinda forces us, I think, here to save again, as it doesn't seem to continue on without us saving here. I'm not really sure what that's about.
This way, please.
Smells like medicine.
You are all right. Please, relax. Please, have a seat.
What the hell?
You mustn't fight it. This is for your own good.
No. Stop.
There now. You see? All better.
Lady, am I going crazy?
Now what makes you say that? I'll be waiting.
Shit. What the hell is going on?
So it looks like the game's going to play with us with the whole what's real and what's not real. Always enjoy this type of thing in like my movies, TV programmes and video games, so yeah, looking forward to this.
Connolly!
This green gel is dotted around, and we use this to upgrade our abilities as well as our weapons and stuff. It's actually kind of similar to The Last of Us, more so than Resident Evil 4.
Hey!
The way this next scene is presented is almost a carbon copy of the first time you ever come across a zombie in the first Resident Evil. Very cool wee nod to that game there.
My God, Connolly.
So far the actual controls of the the gun, the aiming, feels more akin to The Last of Us than it does like Resident Evil 4's more precise aiming. I'm sure that obviously the more we level up our character, the better we are with the weapons.
Whoa. Were you warning me about this? You are Leslie, right? I'm a police officer. Maybe I should help you.
Should help you.
Shit. How am I gonna get you to a hospital?
Hospital. 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 Hospital!
What the fuck?
Thankfully we can actually disarm this tripwire instead of stupidly walking through it. We'll be doing this quite a bit this chapter, disarming traps. When we disarm a trap we can actually use the traps like parts for I think it's like ammo and upgrade pieces for certain weapons. So yeah, it really pays to take it slow and steady. This is another main mechanic of the game. It's burning corpses. It kind of implies to me that you have to do this for every enemy, otherwise they'll get back up. But I find that as long as they suffer some sort of major head trauma, i.e. you blow their head off or put a knife through it, they don't get back up, so you can keep a hold of your matches. I thought you could maybe burn this hay here for some sort of secret, but alas, no.
Shit! What the? Back here again. I must be losing it.
So it looks like mirrors can be used to traverse between both worlds. Still not 100% sure, what's real and what's not real right enough.
I don't know if that was a bad dream, or this is.
Whatever is the matter?
We've collected quite a bit of the green goo, so let's see what we can upgrade. There seems to be a whole manner of upgrades to our abilities as well as weapons. We can also restock ammo here as well, but since we only have a wee tiny bit of green gel, let's just upgrade what we can. And to get back to the other world, we just go through the mirror again. This is how I'll be trying to take care of every enemy I come across in this chapter. It seems to be the best way to deal with them, as it saves on ammo as well as matches because you do not have to burn their corpse.
Hey, are you guys from around here? I don't know where...
Can't go on.
This enemy type are the main enemies of the game, and they're called the Haunted. They move and behave in a manner very similar to the Ganados from Resident Evil 4, and just like them, the Haunted can use farming tools as weapons. You'll notice that some of the Haunted are like wrapped in barbed wire or covered in shards of glass or nails, and according to the game's art designer, this is to show that they too are suffering under a great evil. Lovely. Don't know if you can kind of notice, but what I thought was kind of ash in there floating around is actually kind of like red blobs. No idea what this is, or if the game will actually reveal if it's really anything. And yes, you may have already noticed, I will be making several wee kind of minor cuts here and there, as I do spend a good bit of time searching every corner of the map. This visual kind of reminds me of the opening to Alan Wake, where you have to go towards the lighthouse.
Looking at it.
Our detective here is extremely unfit, can only actually sprint for about 5 seconds, although to be fair he did take a chainsaw to the back of the leg earlier on. There is more haunted up ahead here, and again I'll be using stealth tactics. I think this is actually how the game is wanting you to play it, very slow and steady, which might actually put a lot of people off. I think a lot of people were expecting another Resident Evil 4, and when they didn't get it I think they were quite upset at the game. But so far I'm quite liking it. It's like a kind of mash-up between like The Last of Us meets Resident Evil 4. We have some bear traps this time. Sometimes it's actually helpful not to disarm the traps, as the enemies can actually run into the traps as well. I'm not sure if the enemy there had actually seen me, or he just heard the noise of me opening that cupboard, but I doubled back quickly and he seems to just, you know, go away. So I'm not 100% sure what happened there. I continue on disabling some bear traps as well as taking care of any of the enemies going around here. Again, I think this is probably the best way to play the game so as you can maximise the amount of ammo you're given, but I actually think that you could maybe bypass a lot of these enemies by just sneaking on by and not bothering them. These two guys would have jumped us if we hadn't have burned them. We are nearing the end of chapter 2 now, and I still don't feel as if I've got quite a grasp of how this game is as such. It kind of feels like having a wee quick look at it probably isn't the best thing for this game, as it is quite long, and the looks of things, I mean, it's changed quite a bit from chapter 1 to chapter 2, and I feel as if it will keep kind of growing like that, maybe into more of an action orientated game. But so far, you know, the visuals, the tone of it, I'm really digging, and I would imagine if you've got this far in the video, you would know yourself whether the game is for you or not.
Get out of here.
I tried legging it there at the end, and yeah, bad idea. Turns out that when you're fully out of stamina, he literally just stops and pants.
God damn it!
And that brings us to the end of this wee look. So that was the first 50 minutes or so of The Evil Within. Hopefully some of you out there found this helpful, informative, or you know, just something to pass the time in the background. If you want to see more videos like this, then give it a like and even leave a wee comment below certain games you want to see, or you know, just if you want to just talk about horror games in general, then leave a comment. So thanks for watching. Bye.